When Urban Outlaw came out in 2012, I talked about the Top Gear trailer that came out that first day and went viral. And within that first week, I actually got a email from Sandy Bodecker, who was the president of Nike Action Sports. That's all. Everything Nike does is cool, but the Action Sports division, SB, this is X Games skate. It's the fun stuff. They've got a thing called the Kitchen and blah blah blah. So Sandy Bodecker, Nike Action Sports, was a Porsche GT2 owner, had seen the Urban Outlaw film and said, "Hey, I'm inspired by your story. I'd love to see if we can come down and tour your facility." And he goes, "We're hosting a 2-day design summit seminar for our designers and merchandisers and marketers. We do this several times every year. Generally, we go to a remote retreat, and it's a corporate retreat over 2 days, and we talk about what we're planning for the future and down the road and what Nike's doing." He goes, "Would you be interested in hosting us at your space in downtown LA? And would you give us a tour?" And I'm like, wow, fuck, this thing's like next level. I go, "Nike's interested?" I go, "I'm just like doing, drill door handles."
Yeah.
And Nike's like thinks I'm inspiring in some way. And you go back to Nike, the waffle shoe, Phil Knight, Nike started in the garage of Phil Knight's house doing waffle sneakers in the late 60s, early 70s, right? So I go, maybe there's a mild connection there of thinking outside the box. So of course, yes, Nike, you can come down. I'll give you the dog and pony 2-cent tour. You can host your 2-day seminar here at the Loft. And he said, "Do you think it's possible we could screen the film?" I said, "Well, the film's not done." And the seminar was in August and the film had this release of September. I go, "Let me talk to Tamir, the director." So I called Tamir up. "Hey, you're not going to believe it. Nike's interested in the film. They want to know, can they screen the film?" He goes, "Well, it's not done. It's rough. It's not fully edited. It's not colorized. We don't have the sound right. But sure, yes." So Nike flies him down from Toronto. He's part of it. We ended up screening Urban Outlaw, rough cut, 32-minute documentary at the Soho House in Hollywood. Kind of a big deal thing to Nike. And we go, fuck, like Nike's on this. Something's happening here.
Yeah.
And then, Nike invited us up, gave us, some stuff, but I never went to visit him. And then unfortunately, Sandy Bodecker passed away from cancer in 2018. And we went up there for the funeral. And I met this guy called Pelly, who worked at Nike SB, and he's a Porsche guy. And he flew us up there. And it was just kind of cool to visit the campus, even though it was under sort of sad, tragic circumstances. We toured the facility, and they had a Sebastian Coe exhibit there. I go, wow, this is like full circle of 2018 when I went to Nike. Seb Coe signed my certificate in 1978. Do the math how many years later that was. And it was just sort of this full circle moment, pretty special. And he said, "Would you be interested in doing a sneaker with us, with one of our pro skaters?" I go, "Well, I don't skate." He goes, "It's okay. We kind of like your attitude. And Ashad's a fan of yours. He's a Porsche guy." So we ended up collaborating. Like, these things take time. It's a conversation. You don't hear anything from 6 months. 6 months become 9 months. Are we still doing it? Yes, we're still doing it. We had to push it back. We're scheduling it, for such and such a date. And so the shoe's going. I meet Ashad last March, but we haven't done anything on the shoe yet, but we're doing a shoe. And ironically, on Sunday, I don't know if you've seen my recent little Instagram post, but I had my favorite car, 277, not the slant nose Hot Wheels one, but the real one, down in the LA River. And I was filming the promo for the video. So this is dated March 25th. This was my first sketch for the Nike sneaker. This is dated April 2nd. This was my second sketch for the Nike sneaker. And I'm not one of those guys that's good on Photoshop or Illustrator. All my cars that I've done up to this point, I see them in my mind and it goes to the car. There's no CAD illustration, no livery that's printed out, nothing's wrapped. I don't contact an art guy who mocks it up for me. It's done this way.
Yeah.
So that was the initial sketch. And then I'll show you the shoe. So initial sketch. There's the insole for the shoe.
Oh, nice.
here is the very first sample of the shoe.
Oh, sick.
The very, very first one that came to me.
Oh, the inside is so cool.
Takes time to get samples. So here's the one I'm wearing.
Nice.
And then I will walk you through the shoe.
Oh, yeah.
So the inside of it is tartan. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah. It's like a bluey green tartan.
Right side has blue tartan. This side has red tartan. And then the shoe is designed to distress. So let me just grab one more thing. I got to move this laptop because, believe it or not, the computer is on the Nike SB box.
Nice.
I've got it resting on. Let me move everything around. The Nike SB box. And then what comes out of the Nike SB box is this. So this is actually the shoe.
Ooh.
These ones I'm showing you here I've been wearing and are already beat up. So the shoe is designed like the car to distress. So initially 277 was gold. So 277 is gold. There's still gold paint in the front of the car. It's been painted green. It's been painted several shades of white. So the goal with the shoe was the shoe would take on the character of the car and distress. So the shoe has been made to distress. This one has obviously been quite well distressed. But even the shoelaces have the Urban Outlaw logo right here.
Oh, cool. So have you been distressing that, like actively distressing it, or have you just been wearing it?
A combination of both, because I knew I was making the video. So the video is a combination of everything that I just walked you through, of me talking about the story. Then we bring in a Shod Ware, who's their pro skater. So there's footage of him skating. There's footage of us collaborating. Talking about the shoe. The shoe comes with red, white, and blue laces that you can see here.
Yeah.
And then we go drive. And I get a shot, driving 277. So this is all literally happening right now as we speak.
Yeah.
I shot the video on Sunday. The shoe comes out when this airs, the shoe's already out. The shoe comes out on the 19th. So we've got to make sure that everything we're talking about here doesn't get leaked, because up to this point, not many people know about this. So this happened organically. Cool. When I look at stuff like, got my label here, got my name there with Nike. Cool. It's got my, this is sort of a bit of a big deal for me. So all the elements that I'd done on the sketch, obviously they scaled back. They just said, put whatever you want on it. And then, they sort of scaled back from there. But there's the Union Jack on the back. You look at the base sole. There's the base sole. You look at the insole. It didn't drastically change.
Oh.
And this, like everything I've been talking about, just happened organically.
That is so cool. It's like peak.
So, what's that?
peak collaboration, like Nike shoe. Doesn't get much better.
I mean, I've done stuff with Hot Wheels. I've been designing Hot Wheels for the past 5 years. It started out with one Porsche 356. Now it's over, 30 cars. I've done a little bit of stuff with various other people, but this is kind of, for me, a bit of a next level thing.
Yeah.
The shoe had been under wraps. I'd been working on it for almost 3 years. Obviously, it doesn't happen every day. And then just last week, it sort of got leaked to Hypebeast sneakers, and people still don't know much about it because it's really been under the radar. But yeah, there's the story of the Nike SB 277, a Shod collab,
which will be
shoe.
Out when this airs.
It'll be out, possibly, knowing these sneaker drops no longer available because they're going to be hard to get, I think.
How many are they going? Have they said how many they're going to make?
10,000 of them, that's low. For Nike, that's low. Usually they're doing boatloads of stuff and it goes to Foot Locker. So that's how many will be out there, and they're actually.
Do you
super
get like
comfy.
a lifetime supply? Because especially
time
if they
will
distress.
Time will tell. I've already got quite a few pairs. For me, I'm used to wearing things that are black, so actually having a shoe on there that's, even though it's beat up, is red, white, and blue. But it's great because it's the first time in a long time they've actually done an SB Dunk that's canvas and leather. So, really came out super cool. And this is one of the things that I'm super proud about. So
no, I'm
that's
loving
happening.
that tartan on the inside.
That's, the tartan on the inside. I just wanted to sort of bring in a little bit of the punk rock element, the DIY. Like this is the exact tartan that I have on some of my cars. Ironically, that Hot Rod 67S actually has the exact same tartan on the inside. So it was just cool to bring in those design elements based around the car and end up with something like this would never have occurred to me. It's not like I got a PR team. I spoke earlier on. It's just me and the iPhone getting stuff done. And I think in a way, it becomes approachable and relatable. It's not like I said, okay, I need a Nike collab. Let's get in touch with Nike and see if we can work this thing out. These things happen organically, and most of the time it's just a matter of seeing it through, being super patient, not rushing stuff and waiting for stuff to happen. So that's going to be one of the highlights of 2021.